Hey Stampers, Gaynor again, and the lovely Carla Bostic, sorry about that sweetie, sent me a link a couple of days back of a flip card, and I went over and watched it, and it was beautiful, but it was done by a die, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I can work it out without having to go and buy the die. So you know me, what I'm like with maths and things. So I did, and this one I've used non-Stampin' Up products because it's a sample, and then I have used Stampin' Up products as well. But look at the glistening on that jug, isn't that gorgeous? And so I added a couple of butterflies, but the lady, when she had hers, had a bunch of sloths, and when you turned it over they were on the reverse, but it was a reverse stamp, so you could see the back of the animal. But I don't obviously have those either, so I just thought I double stamp that because it's a new stamp. I've not used it before. I didn't prime it first by accident, so I tried to go back over it, but obviously it went a little bit blurry. Ooh, looks. And the same with this one, but I have primed them now, so they should stamp a lot better. And then it says simply thankful for all the good things, and then I've just typed thank you inside, stamp thank you, and added a couple of roses, and then you've got space here to write your message. I added DSP because obviously our blends do bleed through, so I'm going to be using all Stampin' Up products this time. So you're going to need a piece of Whisper White. This measures 5 by 5.5. And to get that beautiful DSP all the way round, you're going to need a piece that is 5.5 by 3.25. And then this piece is going on the inside, and I've cut this one to the right size. I cut the other one a bit too short. I did 2 3/8 instead of 2 5/8 by 4 7/8. So it fits that panel beautiful now with a little white border. And it's so simple to make. You know, watching the lady do it with the dies, she even cut the DSP with the dies, but there's no need for that. So let me grab my trimmer. So let me just check. Yeah, that's the way. So the short side, pop into the trimmer at 3/4 of an inch. Take your blade and cut down from 1.5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock this into place in a minute once it's there. So 1.5, so it doesn't move. And then I'm cutting this down to 2 3/4. So we're not going far, we're just going to that mark there. So 1.5 to 2 3/4. Oops, this next one. 2 3/4. Then you're going to take it out, flip it over, go back in at 3/4, pop this in, and then just cut back to 1.5. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pop this in at 1.5, and we're just simply going to cut. I'll just move that out of the way a sec. From 3/4 all the way down to this one. We haven't got quite there, but this is what we got scissors for. So I'm going to take a little tiny nick. I think it might be that way actually. Or is it that way? Let's just give that a little, tiny little nick. There you go. Let's speed that up. And a tiny little nick that side as well. Just so we connect those lines. And then move the blade. I'm going to pop this in at 3 inches. Well, just 2 3/4 actually. And we're going to score just where those cut lines and up to the cut lines. That's better. And then all you have to do then is simply fold And that should have come together. It's just my scoring, don't worry. Put the ends together and then give that a burnish. So just making sure you've got all your cardstock in the right place. I like to go over my cut lines because it does roll up a little bit with the trimmer. Just going over them to flatten them out because I think my blade needs changing, but that's that flip card. Now it's done. So that's what you'll see. This is the back and this is the front. So you will have that flip there. Now with the DSP, the largest piece, we're going to do a little bit more cutting. So what did I say to do with this one? This goes in at 1 inch and we cut down to 1.5. So keeping that arm straight, cut down to 1.5, take it out, put it in at 1 inch and cut from 1.5 up. And then what we need to do is just cut between those cut lines and remove that section. So I'm doing it this way because I can see better. So 1, just make sure I'm in the right, yeah, I'm in the right place. All the way down to 4.5. Should cut that piece out then. There we go, perfect. So this piece now gets added onto this piece, I think it is. And what you do, you add that, giving yourself a 1/4 inch all the way round. So you've got 1/4 inch all the way around, and we're just gluing it onto this section at the back. So let's move that out the way. So you just need to apply glue here. I found that was easier to glue this. Glue is starting to play up. Come on. I think it's coming to the end of the tub, that's what it is. And then I'm going to lay this down because I want to see that 1/4 inch. So if you line this edge up here with this, make sure you've got about 1/4 inch all the way round, and then just press that down. You can open this out now and then you just give that a good burnish. So we've roughly got 1/4 inch all the way round now. And now that's added a bit of stability to the back of the card as well. And then this piece is going to go inside here. And I've put that on the wrong way round. But it doesn't matter. So this is just cut 1/8 inch smaller. So let me just try and unclog this a little bit. I can't remember even the site the lady was on, but I thought, oh, I can work that out. This is, oh, come on. There's plenty of glue in there, it's just the nozzle needs a good clean. So this, like I'm saying, just a tiny 1/8 inch all the way round. It's just a tiny little border. Just make sure you line it up. Don't go over those score lines. Oops, again, it can come out a little touch. If you wanted to do a 1/4 inch border, you could. But I like a small border. So we flip the card. I know, I should have put that on the other way round. I wanted that side showing. But never mind, just remember to glue the side you want showing. not the reverse like I've just done. But looks nice though, doesn't it? It would have looked lovely, but that's the way it flips open, and this is the way it closes. And then this measures, believe it or not, with that little 1/4 inch border. This measures 4 and, well, just over 4 1/8, and then by 5 1/2. So it's a standard size card, and even for Americans, that could be even 4 1/4. Look at that, I've got a little nick out the top there. But I think my blade needs changing, like I'm saying. I'm just going to squash down the areas and give that a good burnish. So now we can stamp our images and flip this over and stamp our inside as well. So I'm getting my black memento ink out for this. And this piece is the piece you've cut away, and I'm going to be using this to cut out some of those beautiful little butterflies that I've got on here. And yeah, I'm just going to attach a few of those. Beautiful imagery. You could swap them over now if you didn't want the watering can, the jug and that one. You could add the other 2 images, which are from Country Home. You could use this pail and this cluster of flowers if you wanted to. Love this little thing, but it only fits these little words in. But I'm going to stick with what I've got. And the thank you comes from Believe You Can, and it's this one. I wanted a good size one. So, oh yeah, they're the ones I'm using. So I've got my blends ready as well. And the little flower also comes from Believe You Can. So let's just pop out 3 of these gorgeous butterflies. And I'm just taking it. 1, 2, and 3. So normally you would have thrown that in the bin probably, or popped it somewhere else, but we've just utilised it now to get our little butterflies out. Loving it. Do 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 do. So let's me stamp now. I should really have a mat under it. So where's my mat? Right over there. Let me just grab that. Fingers crossed it should stamp a little better now. It's not very often I use this, but I think I should on this occasion. And I'm just going to really ink this up. Oops. Just got... that's another thing. I keep dipping my fingers in the ink. So just line this up. Doesn't look very inky, does it? That's better. And I thought this sentiment fit in there beautifully. Oh, that's a lot better. Look at that. That's stamped beautifully. Absolutely wonderful. Again, you should use your mat more often. So I'm going to do the same with this cluster of flowers. Absolutely. You could, it looks like an artichoke down there, but they also do a flower, and I can't think what it's called. And that also looks like an artichoke, but it's called something cabbage, I think it's called, but they're absolutely gorgeous. Oh, that's so much better. So much better indeed. And this beautiful jug. Absolutely stunning. So let's flip this open now. And we're going to stamp in there that beautiful thank you. I love big sentiments, you know me. gorgeous. What a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous image that is. And I'm just going to pop 2 of these beautiful flowers just on the inside, either side. So cute. Love it. So, I've got my butterflies, I've got my images. I will clean, let me just give those a quick clean because my OCD's going crazy as saying, clean them stamps. You know me. Clean as we go. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Perfect. So let me just wipe the tips of my fingers as well because I don't want to smudge any marks like I did on the other one. I had to use the sand eraser then to try and get them off. You can't see it, but I know where they were. So, out the way. I'm even going to leave this mat down while I colour. So I just used the dark Highland Heather to colour these beautiful images in. Because they're only tiny little flowers, I didn't think it was necessary to add shading on these. So I'll leave one and then do the other. Perfect for posting as well. It's quite a lightweight card because I normally use my thick card. I'm going to go back over them again just to darken them slightly. Be a great one to post. There we go. Just going to go over this one again. Yes, I always practice with different stuff. Not all the time, but most of the time I do. So, I'm just going to add, I'm going to add those little berries there and use this colour because I used yellow on the other ones. Just gorgeous. And then I'm going to use the dark Daffodil Delight just to add where those dots are. I'm just dotting as well. Shall I zoom in so you can see? Yes, I'm just dotting over the dots. So when I come to blend now, you will see the difference. Tight squeeze. Just blend that in. Absolutely lovely. And I use the light and the dark soft suede, so I'm going to add my dark just down the side of this jug and basically just going over those marks. I'm going to go along the rim of there and just the rim of there as well. Love it! It's all coming together nicely. I've got a little, I think my tip is starting to go on this. They perish quite quickly actually. We should have asked Stampin' Up for some replacement nibs. I'm just drawing straight lines because I want this can to stay pale. I could go over that again, but I don't want to. You know, little tiny marks like this where the ink has just smudged a little bit. If you get a white gel pen, just basically go over, and you can't see it no more. Absolutely brilliant. So it erases all those bad lines. Right now, I've got 3 different greens. I've got Granny Apple Green. I've got light Mossy Meadow and light Old Olive. And I'm going to do the Old Olive on these tiny little leaves here. And you don't have to add much. Hence I'm using the little fine nib. So I don't want it all the same green. Isn't that cute? And then for that like artichoke looking plant, I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, just the pale. Beautiful. I've gone over that twice now to darken that slightly. Perfect. So I've got the light and dark Mossy Meadow. For the other bits of greenery. We'll add some shadow in a minute. Love it. You can't beat Whisper White for stamping on and colouring. It's beautiful. Perfect, so we've got that in, the pale. Now I'm just grabbing the little end and I'm just going around the bottom where I know it'd be darker. Just adding a few lines. Isn't that cute? Love it. I'm just going to get my Highland Heather again. I'm just going to go back over those dots. Darken them up slightly. Perfect. So, if you notice with this one, I have used the light soft sea spray just to give like an uplift off the card, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to use actually the brush end. So underneath we're going to create shadow. Just like that. And then the rest I'm just going to draw around each piece. And then I'm just going in between the leaves, only in the inside bits here, because that brush tip would just fill that anyway. And I've just spotted a bit of leaf there. Tiny little bit there. I just think it gives a bit of depth to your images. I used to do it with what's it called? Light Pool Party, is it? But that pen has well and truly run out for me. And I love this colour. Perfect. And then again with the jug, it just adds, it's beautiful in the flesh. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. How wonderful. So I'm going to be using now. I will zoom back out in a minute. I'm just showing you that. I'm just adding a bit of glitz. Just lovely. As if the morning dew has just rested on everything. And I'm patting and not rubbing at all. I don't want to smear any of those colours. How pretty is that? Oh, look at that beautiful sparkle. So let's flip over quickly. Oh, I've got a boo-boo there. Oh, it's not coming out as deep, that one is. Oh well. Again, just dab it on. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just give that a second or two to dry. I zoom back out. Now then we can add those gorgeous butterflies. So you can pick either way round, it's entirely up to you. I'm just going to leave the shine. And I've left this to dry out. That's better. Got a lot of glue on there, so I'm going to dab and dib. And I'm going to have one here. I may just have this one here to break up the white. And then I'm going to add this last one. You could put a couple of these on the inside as well if you wanted. Just going to add that one right up there. Pokey tool. Just to add dimension on the front, because these can be folded flat to go in an envelope and then the recipient can lift those back up. So let's pop our glue away. I've got some rhinestones. Just going to add 3 on each butterfly. and they've got a glisten on them, but I will try and add a bit of Wink of Stella, but whether it shows up on there, I don't know. Oops. The song was playing in the car earlier, it's now embedded in my head. Isn't that gorgeous? You could add a ribbon somewhere now if you wanted to. Maybe I will add a little baker's twine, not baker's twine, linen thread. Oh, I love this stuff. And pop a little bow. So I'm going to move those closer together, because I literally only want a tiny one. So keeping the knot in the middle. Give that a tight, and if you lift this off at the same time, it doesn't curl, or it's not supposed to. So let's just snip those ends off. Keep them nice and straight. I didn't get any waste then. And then off with the glue again. It's too small for a glue dot. So I'm just going to add that there. And add my little bow right there. I'm just going to keep that down on there for a minute just for it to go off. How wonderful. So this is clogging up. That's better. So there's our gorgeous little linen bow. Oh my gosh, that's so perfect now. Absolutely beautiful. Loving that. The top of that card doesn't seem straight for some reason. It's probably where I took the snips. But I'm not worried about that. Wink of Stella again. Just see if we can. Oh, you can as well. Add a little bit of shine to those beautiful butterflies. So there we have it. There is my ultra easy flip card with a gorgeous display pattern on the front, and then you flip it over and it says thanks and gives you plenty of space to write a message, and it stands up lovely. Isn't that cute? I love that. So there we have it. That's the one I made earlier with a few boo-boobs and old DSP. Still cute though. And this is the one we just made together. How sweet. It's so lightweight, it's unreal. They will fold flat to go in an envelope. Let me just grab an envelope and show you that they do fit. Ooh. This is my standard size envelope, and that fits in there beautifully. Plenty of space all round. Let me just show you. And I can close that still. So you've got plenty of space. They do fit in a normal size envelope. You could even decorate the envelope up with these beautiful sentiments, or just even splash just half of the sentiment on the side. That would look beautiful. But there we have it. There is that very easy flip card to make, and if you follow the instructions you can't go wrong. So thanks for watching. Until next time, love you all. Bye.